Look at your goofy ass. What's good, y'all? So today is going to be a longer episode. I read in the comments, you guys are like, can you please try to do longer episodes? So I'm trying my best to do longer episodes for you. So every day, I'm going to try to release like one long episode over like 20, 30 minutes for y'all. So in this episode, we're going to go over two videos. So one video is a matchmaker giving horrible advice to a short king. And the other video I'm going to go over, we got these two Asian teens that further prove my point that relationships are a joke today in 2026. So let's get to it.
DMs and I try to answer them when I can.
So this is a matchmaker. So she's exchanging. So she's reaching out. Well, she's not reaching out, but this guy reached out to her asking for advice. And keep in mind, this is a short king. And in my opinion, I feel like this woman gave horrible advice to this man. So let's go over it.
And this was an exchange that happened on Instagram. As someone who's 25 and a 5'4" to 5'5" man, what do you think my expectations should be regarding finding someone I'm physically attracted to? I feel like every girl I'm attracted to is out of my league, like on apps, but I don't know, to be honest. Any advice would help. This is my response to him, not having even clicked into his profile. You have a few options off the top of my head, not knowing anything about you.
And keep in mind, she didn't even take this seriously. She just responded right away without even looking at this guy's profile. Even though he may be a short king, he's probably an attractive guy, he's physically fit, and still she ignored to even look at his profile. So that's a red flag there.
Number one, compromise on education, profession, attractiveness, or body type.
I don't think a man should compromise because he's a short dude. He should not compromise on looks, education, all that. What man wants to invite a woman who's going to be a liability into his life instead of an asset? So because he's a short king, he has to compromise on looks and all that. But when it comes to you women, you guys want a perfect 10, a 10 out of 10, even though these women are below average. My problem with these post-wall matchmakers, because she's post-wall. This is how she looks with makeup. I guarantee you she's not that attractive without makeup. So my issue with these post-wall matchmakers is I feel like some of these women get emotional when it comes to doing their job. Some of these women feel like these men are super entitled. They shouldn't be getting an attractive woman. I feel like some of them get in their feelings when these older, successful guys, they hire these matchmakers and they tell them straight up, I want a younger woman. And it stings. I feel like it stings to these post-wall women. Even though this is your job, you have to get him a woman. This is your job. He hired you for a reason. Get your feelings out of it. Some of these matchmakers get mad when older men, they want younger women because they feel like she knows she's post-wall. She knows she cannot compete. She knows she can't compete to find a guy who's on her level. Who knows? Maybe she's married. I looked through her TikTok. I didn't see anything about a husband or married. So who knows? I don't know if she's married. I don't know if this is a wedding ring, but who knows? But I didn't see any husbands on there. So, but a lot of these matchmakers, bro, I feel like they just get upset about the dating market, knowing they can't compete. And for her to not even take the time to look at this man's profile and went straight and said, you need to compromise on looks, education, all that. Why? When he's done the work, he's successful. Even if he's short, that shouldn't be a negative. There are a lot of short, successful guys who have tall, hot girls. But you're telling him that he has to compromise. That is ridiculous, in my opinion.
Not necessarily all or just one, maybe even a combination. Number two, seek matches abroad. Citizenship is a draw. Doesn't necessarily mean that someone is marrying only for a green card, except that it is a pull.
And if he goes abroad, he should not have to compromise. Even if he goes abroad, he's going to get a woman who looks 10 times better than the American women here. So even if he goes abroad, he still should not compromise on looks and all that. For a man to find a partner to marry, why should a man compromise and get with a woman who's not that attractive? That makes no sense in my opinion.
His response, from your experience, how rare is it for brothers in my realm to get matched to attractive women? So I noticed how you ignored everything that I just said. And so my response is, are you willing
Okay, he ignored it, but you didn't even take time to look at his profile.
to compromise on any of the above? And then his response is, my requirements are mainly three. Number one, religious as I am myself. Number two, that I'm attracted to her, not looking for a model, but someone I enjoy looking at. And number three, family values, character, and integrity. He goes on to say that he does need someone who's educated, although he doesn't care about the level of education, although he is in grad school. And then he also says, I don't think I can compromise on weight. Height, I don't care for. I'm cool for anyone between 5 to 5'6". And I don't see how anyone can compromise on attractiveness because intimacy is a huge part of marriage. Again, I'm not looking for a model either, of course. So I think the market has spoken for him, where he has tried to match with attractive women, but they are not interested in matching with him. Now, I always say that you have to be what you want to attract. But the other side of that is that you can also offer something else that is valuable to, let's say, an attractive person, or make a major compromise in some other way, and you can still attract this person. However, you do have to make compromises. Attractive women have...
I don't agree with having to make compromises when you're like, why should he have to compromise? So you compromising, is it going to be worth it when she divorces your ass and takes half your shit? Was that compromise worth it when you look into the future long term? I compromised so much in the beginning of this relationship. I went against my type. I lowered my standards, and I still got divorced, and I still had to pay this bitch all this money. Was that compromise worth it? At 9 out of 10, no, it's not. Compromising is not worth it, in my opinion. We've guys, let me know in the comments. We've all been in that situation in our previous relationships when we compromised so much and nothing good came out of it. The relationship still ended. Our money, time, energy was wasted on a woman who was not deserving of our time.
Options. Just based on these profiles alone, I would find that men prefer attractive women more than educated women. They're willing to compromise more on education and career rather than attractiveness. So I wanted to post a quick update on the person from my last video, the person who was 5'4", 5'5", and was having a hard time finding an attractive partner. He responded back to me, thanking me for addressing his concerns in a video, and that he didn't really understand a lot of the comments that he was getting, but that it gave him something to think about nonetheless. And as a Baji, as an older sister, I said this to him. You are young, you are educated, and you live in a country with so much opportunity. You have everything going for you. Focus on being the best version of yourself, physically, career-wise, and build a magnetic personality. Dating apps and matchmaking are hard when things are cut and dry on paper. Try to make in-person connections. Meet and approach women you like respectfully in person and with maturity. Women like and want a good man. You may very well land someone incredible. But also, just the way you'd want someone to look past any of your shortcomings, extend that same grace to women who you may not instantly have attraction to. You'd be surprised how much more attractive a person is when you vibe with them and how much deeper that connection will be. I'm going to read off a profile that expresses a sentiment amongst women that I believe...
I don't think that was good advice. What do y'all think? Do you think that was good advice? But I still don't think he should compromise on the looks. You want to be physically attracted to someone if you're going to marry them and be with them for the rest of your fucking life. If she's fucking ugly, you're marrying her at her ugly ass state. You don't think she's going to continue to get uglier as she gets older? Because women do not gain any value as they get older. It's on their decline. So she's ugly now. You think she's going to just look beautiful as she gets older? No. But I don't know. Let me know what y'all think.
Complicates the men as provider conversation.
Female, late 20s, based in the US, hospital administration. Average looking in my opinion. I'm looking for someone who is similar to me in looks. Prefer if he's over 5'10", but that's not a deal breaker. Ideally, I'd prefer not to relocate.
Yep, he always has to be 6 feet.
But we'll consider it on a case-by-case basis. I would like someone who has a provider mindset, as I do not plan on working after marriage. Someone who earns a take.
If you don't want to work after marriage, why did your goofy ass go to college and do all this shit? If you know your main goal is not to work. This is the dumbest shit you have a degree, you have all these loans you got to pay off, but you do not want to work. That is the stupidest shit I've ever heard. You should have used all that time and energy on looking the best you can, get a personal trainer. She should use all that money she used for college in her 20s, get a personal trainer, get a glow up makeover, and she should have been working every day to find a husband. When a woman comes up to you and says, I don't want to work, how much do you owe on your student loans?
Home of $200,000 at minimum. I also expect him to take part in household duties equally. If we decide to have children, he must be an active father, taking an equal role as myself.
I mean, I'm not a man, but I don't know who would take this. It's profiles like this that sometimes tell me
how little self-awareness people have, where they think they should be getting something, but they haven't really thought out why this person would choose them. She has her set of requirements, which aren't particularly compromising for what she's bringing to the table. And then on top of that, she wants someone who is a provider, she is not really willing to relocate for. And then on top of that, she wants him to take equal part in household duties and in raising.
If he's the provider, he's working on, he's not going to be doing all that shit. She's delusional. When men are the providers, they're working so much. They're hardly, they're working a lot. They don't have time to be cooking and cleaning. That's your fucking job. If you don't want to work, you want to be a stay-at-home wife, right? Stay-at-home mom, right? Do that shit. That's your duty. I want him to be active. He's working. He don't have time to be doing all this domestic shit. He's working. And this is another case of delusional women in the dating market who have unrealistic dating standards. And it's insane.
Their children. Now, while even provider men should take part in household duties and in being active fathers, at some point, they won't have the capacity to be able to do so if they are financially providing for your family. Like, are we missing the fact that he will have to put his time, effort, and energy, and probably a significant amount of it, towards providing for your family financially, especially in these times? And then if you want to have him do things equally with you at home, even though you are not working and even though you don't have any children right now, I just don't know how that would seem to make sense to someone. But interestingly, this is a pretty common sentiment. And I understand kind of the background of this, where women have historically been saddled with a lot of the household work. But at the same time, this is kind of pushing it in the very opposite end of the spectrum. Traditional gender roles may give you the ick, which is why you were expecting equal participation from your husband in anything household related. However, when you are asking for a provider husband, you're essentially opting into traditional gender roles yourself. And honestly, I can see why some men who present themselves as providers come with a layer of trepidation, because at some point, because of this pushback on traditional gender roles, partnership is thrown out the window and the expectation from what's required of them just becomes unrealistic. People sometimes DM me for advice, and so I'm going to read off one of those exchanges. Over the past year, I've grown close to someone, and he's become my best friend. He's shared that he's interested in me in terms of marriage, and honestly, we connect really well. As a person, he's everything I've ever wanted and more. The struggle is that he's not my usual type. Despite that, I feel a deep, unshakable connection to him. I've tried to ignore it because I've been conflicted about appearances and what others might think. People in our friend group have even commented that the idea of us...
Women are always going to settle with guys who are not their type when it comes to marriage. They don't ever marry their first choice.
Doesn't make sense based on what they imagine for me. And that's the image I've also held on to for a long time. If it were just the two of us, I don't think I'd hesitate at all. But the fear of judgment makes me unsure about moving forward. I don't want to waste my time or his, and I'm struggling to decide what's the right choice. So I asked some follow-up questions. I asked, when others say it doesn't make sense, what do they mean? Do they mean that you're more attractive than him? Do you find him attractive? And have you ever spoken seriously with someone who is your usual type? She said yes, that it mainly does have to do with appearances. And then she said, when it's just the two of us, he feels like the best choice. The hesitation comes when I imagine introducing him to friends or family. She also said, I also don't have much dating experience. The one time I pursued someone who was my ideal type visually, we lacked compatibility and it didn't go anywhere. And then she also said, I do feel attracted to him, but sometimes it's almost as if I'd rather keep it private. When we're out in public, I occasionally catch myself worrying that we might look mismatched. And during moments of conflict, I find myself questioning why I'm even pursuing something with someone who isn't my usual type. And here's my response to her. So here are my 2 cents from an outsider who doesn't really know anything about you. You keep talking about type, but you also mentioned that you don't really have any experience in relationships. You can certainly have preferences, but one of the things that comes out from talking to people and considering them seriously is that you're actively experiencing and developing understanding of what your type is. You shouldn't ignore that a lot of the traits he has are actually your type because you do like them and you have a connection with him because of them. It seems you're giving priority to what others think about you and the match you choose over what you actually think and feel. Listen, your friends are your friends, so they also likely see you in a positive light. Maybe if you shared the things that you liked about him, they could see why you have interest. If these friends truly mean well, they would take into account your actual feelings and not just appearances. You also seem to think that people out on the street will have a negative opinion about you and your matchup, and you feel self-conscious about that. Let me break it to you. Nobody cares. 99.9% of people could not care less. Ultimately, only you can decide if his good qualities are worth moving forward for. If you think of letting him go, how does that feel to you? There is also no guarantee that someone of your type will actually pan out and if their other qualities will line up. It seems everything is there, a connection, attraction, but if you will continue to hesitate and prioritize outside opinion.
I just feel like if she feels this way about this dude, this is not a win-win. This is a bad deal for him because deep down she feels like she's settling for this dude. So I don't think this guy, if he knew she felt this way, it's not a good deal for him. It's not a good deal. And he probably has his shit together. He's probably financially stable as fuck. And she's just only going to use him for his resources. And that's it.
It's better you let him move on. Everyone wants to feel desired in a relationship. If you do
I agree. Just let him move on. Good job. Post-war.
decide to continue, you must drop acceptance of outside opinion because it won't be fair to him for you to waffle back and forth and to build insecurities in your relationship based on what you think others feel.
I agree. Just let him, move on. But man, I'm telling you, man, if I was a matchmaker, man, I don't care if you're a short king. You may feel insecure, man. My job is to make sure we are going to get you the woman that you deserve and want. I'm not going to be telling you no bullshit like, oh, you need to compromise on the looks and education because you're a 5'5". No, if I was a matchmaker, bro, because I kind of want that as another goal of mine. Like if I got my own matchmaking service, strictly to help guys get the women they want, I'm gonna do my best to make sure you get the woman you deserve. I'm not going to hit you with this bullshit. You need to compromise because you're dark skinned, you're short, you're not that attractive. No, bro, we going to get you the woman that you deserve because you busted your ass, you're successful, and you deserve to get any woman you want. Women get into their feelings. They want men to settle so bad because they're jealous. They're jealous that men are not on time clocks to have kids. They're jealous that successful older men do not want old women, and they're always with hot younger women fucking the shit out of them. Some of these guys don't need Viagra. Some of these guys do not need Viagra. At my gym, bro, there's so many older men in the gym who are physically fit as fuck. And I never see women, old ass women at that gym. Most women are not disciplined to stay fit as us men. They're not. So an older man who's disciplined, who's done the work, he's successful, he's physically fit. Why the fuck would he get with an old, overweight woman who's never been disciplined in her entire life? They will not make a good match. So this next video we're going to watch, we got these two Asian things on a podcast, just talking about how they have all this free time to worry about a man. They're not worried about a man. But I feel like they are confident like this because one, they're Asian girls. Guys kiss Asian women's ass. They're in California, so they're probably on 3 dating apps, and they probably got 200 messages per app. And this is boosting their ego. Like they got all this time to have fun and get slutted out by Chad, Tyrone, Ricky Tan, Enrique. They want to just have a hot girl summer through the age of 20 to 30. And then that's when they'll want to find a simp to settle down with. That's when they'll look for a good guy, a guy who's not their type. But what they're talking about in this podcast further explains my point why relationships are a joke. To get into a relationship with these women is a joke nowadays because nobody's taking it seriously. Everyone feels like these women, not the men, these women are feeling like they're missing something. I don't feel a spark. Even though he's perfect on paper, he just doesn't do it for me. That's how these women are. Let's watch this video.
Recently just left a perfectly happy, good, fine relationship. Like nothing's wrong with the guy, nothing's wrong with the relationship. It's just I realized that because I'm such a lover girl, like
you left a perfectly fine relationship. Nothing was wrong. Nothing was wrong with this dude. You left a perfect relationship. But these other relationships you guys keep on complaining about, I want to meet a good man. I'm tired of attracting all these fuck boys. She left a good relationship. I'm telling you, she's going to attract a lot of fuck boys who are going to waste her time, turn her out sexually, pump and dump her, and then she'll be 30-something wondering where all the good men at. And she'll probably reach back out to these nice guys later on.
I am wired to like immediately put myself in the relationship and dedicate myself in the relationship, devote myself to him, that I just don't have the time or the capacity to think about what I want. And not because I am not.
And when we go through these clips, bro, you're gonna realize that these two girls make no fucking sense throughout the entire podcast. They don't make no sense.
Not driven, or I don't want to have my own career in the future. It's just we as women, we're wired to be that way.
Yeah, like a nurturer.
Yeah, like a nurturer. Yeah. So I had to leave. I had the realization.
Yo, if I got any Asian brothers in watching this video, these Asian girls, are these like 10s in their community? Or are they like, just be honest, are these 10s? Like they're not ugly. They're not ugly, but you could tell they probably get attention. But in the Asian community, are these women 10s? Let me know what y'all think in the comments.
That sometimes it's okay to leave perfectly fine relationships for the sake of your future, for you to figure out what you want to do, who you want to be, get your shit together, basically.
Yeah.
I guarantee you her dude was financially stable and she just used him for all his resources until she was just done with him. It's perfectly fine to leave great relationships where there's nothing wrong, to find yourself. You couldn't find yourself before you wasted this man's time? When women say I'm to find yourself, that is this code word for I need to find new dick. I need to get slutted out. I need to explore. That's all that means. Finding herself, she's arching that back for someone. She arched that back. She's arching it for somebody else, I'm telling you. Taking it real deep. Yeah, she's finding herself face down in that pillow getting pounded. Getting taken to Pound Town.
I could go back to being 20, 21 again, or starting college. I would tell myself, do not care about dating. Don't care to get into a relationship. Like, I feel like I've been in like 2 long-term relationships at this point, and I really feel like it energetically held me back so much about thinking for myself, thinking about what goals.
I can tell these girls get a lot of attention in California. But I don't know, man. Because on the TikTok, it says San Francisco. So are these women a San Francisco 10? Let me know, because some of y'all are in California. Are these like Cali 10s right now? Or let me know.
What I want to do out of life, because I was constantly focused on my relationships. And like, you can't help but to be, right? Like when your biggest thought that you have is what your energy naturally goes to, and it's not towards yourself.
I recently come across a TikTok that says when a man and a woman is in love, when they're in a relationship, men will put their energy more towards building a future. They will be more determined to work harder to provide for the future. Whereas for women, we tend to lean towards providing a home for the relationship, like a peacemaker, a homemaker. And so
majority of y'all not doing that. Y'all not. You guys are just in relationships for self, trying to extract as many resources as you can from that man and then go to the next. Y'all not trying to make a home. Y'all not trying to make no damn foundation. Most women are users in relationships today because women are acting like prostitutes. You need to pay me for my time. What she described, that's what women did 30 years ago. 30 years ago, but they're not doing this shit now.
Like these two trajectories of men and women, like as women, we're not bound to like work harder once we're in a relationship. Like our focus is literally,
we get a lot softer and we work less towards our own life goals and everything. We're building something for ourselves because like getting so comfortable in the relationship, you start to like kind of naturally relying.
You make him the center of the relationship,
right?
Trying to please him, trying to be the best wife, mother, all that.
And honestly, like that is just so not worth doing in your 20s. Like you miss out so much time to find who you are, find your personality.
I'm telling you, I fucked so many women who say this. when women say, I'm trying to find myself, they are trying to get slutted out and turned out. They're trying to have more sexual partners to explore about what they want in the bedroom. I fucked so many women last year who told me the same shit. I'm just trying to find myself right now. You want to fuck. You're trying to explore and have as many sexual partners as you can before you get tied down and settle for this simp. Women do this all the time. This is keyword. When a woman tells you straight up, I need time for myself, I need a break. Yeah, she needs a break because she's about to get some dick on the side. Women are never single. They're saying this, right? I'm focusing on myself, but they have a guy on the side that they are fucking, he's hitting it raw, beating that pussy up, no strings attached. Majority of we have so many situationships right now. These women may tell you, I'm single, I'm not in there, but they're fucking on the side. They got a nigga they're fucking with. It's either Chad, Tyrone, or a badass Ricky Tan nigga, tatted up Asian nigga who don't give a fuck, beating that pussy up. These women have a dude on the side that they're fucking.
Figure out what you want to do, and also like all the like stressors and worries that like also come in a relationship, because naturally like you start to get a little anxious sometimes. You worry about your boyfriend, or maybe you're going through a really bad heartbreak. Yeah. And like that just sets you back so much. Like all this like healing time that you have to do. Honestly, like I feel like, yeah, sure, date around, right? Yeah,
date around, have fun.
There is just no need.
Fucking, we're going to get our fuck on. It's fuck time. That's all it is. It's fuck time. She broke up with that good dude to get her fuck on. This guy was a good dude. She just said it was a perfect relationship, but I bet you it was boring. He was great on paper, but I bet you the relationship was boring to her. It wasn't exciting, and he wasn't fucking the shit out of her. He probably hit her, well, I want to make love to you. I don't want to do you. I don't want to choke you on the neck. I don't want to pull you. No, I want to make love to you. Because you're my baby. You're my princess. I just want to hold your. He wasn't trying to pull her. He wasn't fucking he wasn't face down, ass up. Arch that back. Archie. Pulling. He wasn't doing none of that. I want to make love to you. On some Disney Channel bullshit. That's why she broke. He was great on paper, but I'm telling you, he probably wasn't hitting it right. That's why she wanted to get her fuck on. And I guarantee you, the niggas she's gonna be fucking on the side are niggas who probably don't even make nowhere near the money he made. They're in California. She'll probably fuck some unemployed Chad surfer type of dude. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you, dude. Yeah, and he's probably fucking the shit out of her on his surfboard, on some Bill Ted shit. Like I'm telling you, the nigga she's gonna be fucking, he ain't gonna be making nowhere near the money that perfect guy was making. Women do this shit all the time. Women do not know what the fuck they want at all.
Have fun, but don't put yourself in such a committed relationship because you'll regret it later.
We have the rest of our fucking lives to be a wife, okay? We only have so much time.
And us. We don't have to worry about it, you know?
Like, there is just so much time to do that. There's so much time.
One thing I can say about Asian women is they can get their fuck on throughout their entire 20s, right? Do all this freaky slutty shit, but when they hit 30, 40, there's always going to be some white knight saving their ass because they're Asian. And that's a thing that's not talked about in the dating market. There's like Asian privilege. These Asian women get put on a pedestal, and these niggas be saving these women. Not giving a fuck that they had all these sexual partners. You know?
To like commit yourself to a relationship or marriage at some point. Like I really think it's just so important to like just not be male centered when you're young. It's not worth it because they also do not give a fuck about you. Yeah. They do not care about you like we care. Yeah.
Y'all don't give a shit. Y'all don't give a shit about these dudes. If she did care, she would have still been with that perfect guy. You guys don't give a shit. Come on now.
And like in Asia, like we were told to get married by 27, 28, have kids before 30, at least have like 2 kids before 30 or something. And like I see my friends like starting to get married at like 21, 22, and then having kids by 23, 24. And I'm just like,
oh my God.
Like that might work for some people, but like if you grow up in Asia and then you're pressured by that timeline, you will not be fulfilled or content with your future later on as a girl, especially relying on a guy for all the financial issues, or like if I want to go shop, I don't have the money to do it because I don't have my own
Or
money.
you have to ask for
You
it.
have to ask for the husband.
Yeah.
If you want to go on a girls trip, you have to ask for permission. When in reality, you don't have to ask.
And like, I just
Like out of respect.
also like, if you can't get out of this male-centered mindset during this time, you will regret it so fucking much when you're
There's nothing wrong with leaving healthy relationships the second you know the future you envision, the goals and the values that you have don't align anymore with the other person. Like, I feel like there's so much.
If you knew this, why waste his time in the beginning? What changed? If the relationship is perfect, what changed in the fucking relationship? For you to leave a healthy relationship. Guys, what is the reason to leave a healthy relationship? I don't understand their talking points on this podcast. I get it, they're pretty girls, but I don't understand their talking points because they keep on, because they have more clips, but more of the other clips said the same shit. It's okay. They're like pushing this narrative, leave your relationship. It's so much fun. Y'all say this to leave your relationship, but y'all end up getting just pumped and dumped by these random dudes. And then you hit us with, I feel empty. I feel used. You wanted to get fucked by all these dudes. You left a perfectly fine relationship to get piped down. There is, okay.
Talks online about how to leave bad toxic relationships, but it's not talked enough on how you can also leave healthy relationships if you feel like
you've outgrown the person.
you've outgrown the person and you know that they're the big dreams.
No, you're saying you outgrown him. No, you used him for all his money and he was paying for all the trips, always paying for you, but you had no more use for him. You had no more use for that good dude anymore. I get it. And listen, I'm telling you, Asian women, they don't usually date broke dudes. So I'm telling you, their exes were probably rich dudes. They had no more use for them. That's why I'm telling you, fuck all this provider being a provider male is a scam. It's just bullshit. When you with a woman telling you you need to pay for everything, she don't like you. Because look at this situation. They both left healthy relationships. And I'm pretty sure these niggas were paying for everything. And they still left their ass. Now they're on a podcast. We getting our fuck on this summer in San Francisco. But they gonna get their fuck on for sure with a nigga who makes less than their exes. I'm telling you.
They have versus yours, it's not compatible. Yeah.
Yeah. And to stay in a relationship in fear that you might not find something better is not a reason to stay.
Yeah.
You need to have belief in yourself that there is better out there rather than settling,
Yeah.
And two individuals can be perfectly healthy and be capable of love and be capable of being in a relationship, but that doesn't make them compatible. That is just not one reason to be in a relationship. That's not enough.
Again, they further prove my point why relationships are a joke nowadays. No one's taking it seriously because what they made no sense to me in the video. I don't know, you may see something different, but again, it's like you have a perfect relationship. Why leave? You're leaving now after you spend all this money, time, and energy on you, taking you on trips. California is not cheap. I'm telling you, they're in San Francisco. I'm pretty sure they had some tech nigga they were in a relationship with, some dude who was making money. San Francisco is not for poor folks at all. Ain't no poor people living in San Francisco. You got to have money to survive out there. So I'm pretty sure they had a tech dude that was supporting their lifestyle, and then they had no more use for him. They had no more use for this dude. And now they're getting their fuck on. I'm telling you, when a woman tells you, I need to find myself, I need to explore, she's having sex with other people. She's trying to explore and go through her whole phase. That's basically it. That's basically it. But on this podcast, they further prove that relationships are a joke. It doesn't matter how good of you are as a man. It doesn't matter how well you treat these women. Still, it's not enough. Women are still going to get bored. It is what it is. That is the dating market, and it's due to social media, dating apps, and people feeling like these women always feeling like they can do better. Even though he's 6'1", I feel like I can get a nigga who's 6'4". His dick ain't that big. I feel like I can get a dude who's bigger than him. He spends money, but I feel like I can find a guy who spends even more money on me. Women are never satisfied, but it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, all right? I wanted to do a longer episode for y'all. So every day I'm going to be trying to do, I'm going to be releasing episodes daily, but every day I'm going to try to do an episode like this where I'm going over 2 topics in one video so the episodes can be longer for you, because you guys said in the comments, can you please do longer episodes? And I'm trying my best, y'all, because I do my podcast every day, and I go to work, I go to the gym. I'm very busy, so I'm doing my best to do longer episodes for y'all. But thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to watch my podcast. I greatly appreciate it. Y'all are my brothers. I love y'all. And let me know what y'all think in the comments, all right? I'll holla at y'all. Peace.